calls for more investigations around alleged child abuse inside Illinois in places where your tax dollars are being used continues to grow as you've got Illinois Senate's Republicans pushing for an independent inquiry into one particular home in Chicago. Welcome back. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop, each and every weekday morning with you here at America's Talking Network. So last week we did review some of Governor J.B. Pritzker reacting to hundreds of individuals who are alleging child abuse at various facilities that tax dollars are used to help support. But there was also one in particular where a report from Injustice Watch that looks at Cook County courts dealt with a home that had some political connections and the allegations of abuse and such. Here's Senate Minority Leader John Curran raising substantial questions about that during a news conference on Friday.
We are here today to call for accountability and transparency about the very serious accusations of abuse of children under the state's care at Aunt Martha's Integrated Care Center in Chicago, along with what appears to be the Pritzker administration's attempt to cover it up. A recent Injustice Watch report outlined thousands of reports of violence, including the most serious allegations of sexual and physical abuse of children under the care of the state-funded center. When Governor Pritzker came into office, he repeatedly held up this facility as a national example for how to care for the most at-risk foster children who are prior victims of abuse. He hired a top executive of Aunt Martha's, Mark Smith, to serve as his hand-picked director of DCFS, despite public questions about conflicts of interest. It was Governor Pritzker's hand-picked director that gave a no-bid contract to A-Alert, a security company that Aunt Martha's chief operating officer raised concerns about after allegations surfaced that the guards were making sexual innuendos to the children and sharing pornographic material. Despite these significant concerns and allegations of abuse at the facility, the Pritzker administration not only continued to employ the security company, they doubled down and paid them even more. According to our analysis, the state has paid over $7.5 million to the security company A-Alert over the past few years, most of which, about $2.3 million, appears to have been paid out after the first allegation of abuse. The last payment was most recently August 30th, just 1 month ago.
So he's, of course, talking about tax dollars going into this, and this is just one facility in Chicago that Curran was raising concerns about. The Department of Children and Family Services, they actually spend more than $2 billion a year in child welfare funds for a variety of things, helping fund these types of homes and such. But Curran, continuing on with his concerns, just in how the Pritzker administration's responded to this and what's needed next.
The governor's office has refused to even comment on the horrific findings of this investigative report. And as a result, we are stepping up and calling for the Auditor General to conduct an audit of DCFS's handling of contracts and administration related to Aunt Martha's and A Security Services. This includes abuse, background checks, staff hiring, the backdating of protected plans to determine the extent to which contracts were monitored, whether staff were properly screened and hired, and whether all allegations of abuse and mistreatment were properly investigated. We are also asking for an examination of the spending of state funds at Aunt Martha's and A-Alert Security Services, and whether Illinois state officials acted outside the law regarding the allegations of abuse and oversight.
So again, he's asking for an independent investigation, one that's not coming from the executive branch, but independently through the Auditor General of Illinois. More from Curran.
Instead, a 34-year-old veteran DCFS worker tried to persuade the center officials to backdate critical child protection plans amid an independent investigation by the agency's Inspector General. These aren't just accusations. A DCFS spokesperson acknowledged the cover-up attempt. Thankfully, the center's staff refused to participate in this completely unethical attempt to change documents amid an investigation. It is imperative that we have an independent audit and investigation of this situation outside of the executive branch. The families of these children deserve answers, and the people of Illinois deserve to know where and how their tax dollars are being used.
So, this is just one instance that Leader Curran on Friday was bringing up, and the call for an independent investigation by the Illinois Auditor General into this. But that's not the only one. I mean, you've got hundreds of others who have sued separately, 3 different lawsuits filed about alleged abuse of hundreds throughout the state from 1996 to 2021.
To anyone that this...
Pritzker on... last week at some time, I think it was Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, but he was asked about this in particular and said that individuals who've been harmed by the state need to come forward. He expects more people to come forward, but he wouldn't really provide comments.
No, the people who brought the lawsuit say that it has happened to them in the past. I'm talking about in the present moment with these lawsuits filed, right? We can see from the lawsuits what the allegations are, and so looking into making sure that that isn't happening today in the facilities is something that the state is obligated and will continue to do.
And he had some more comments here just in response to the hundreds that are suing.
Again, I'm not going to make specific comment about the lawsuit other than to say that we want to make sure we're looking at everything, the allegations that are being made, and interviewing the people that are allegations have been made against. And of course, we don't want anybody working for the state that is doing anything that is endangering these children.
More to come on all of that, no question, as people are concerned of how children are being treated and whether or not abuse allegations are being thoroughly vetted, especially when it comes to your tax dollars being involved. It's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get these segments with America's Talking Network and get the updated headlines at the Center Square. Get the podcast anywhere you get podcasts with Illinois in Focus Daily.